Come on. Come on. Come here, buddy. Hey, can I talk to you for a minute? Let's talk about the coaching. You haven't been doing such a good job getting me up in the morning. You got to start training if you want to run your first race, okay? Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Lacing up my running shoes, putting on a pair of shorts, heading out the door. It's often the easiest part of the day. It's definitely not the running, and it's definitely not filling out my race calendar. There's just a lot to consider, and I think that goes along with anything we do. Any major activity or hobby that involves buying a ticket or registering for an event months, if not a year in advance. The first thing on my list, am I going to have fun? Then, how's it going to impact my friends and family, and how's it going to impact the kids and pets? Sometimes they're one and the same. You got to look at past commitments, other races, chores, even work. How am I going to get there? Where am I going to stay? What am I going to eat? Now for me, I've got to look at my physical limitations. Because I'm visually impaired, often new situations can be frustrating and, in fact, fraught with a little bit of anxiety. Then I've got to lean on friends and family just to get me to the starting line. And the bottom line, can I afford all of this? One weekend at a Run Disney event can cost thousands of dollars. Now, I did make a decision the other day to help fill in about a 3-month gap in my calendar. I'm logged into my Active.com account. I'm logged into Run Disney because I'm going to register for another race. This is a really good example of why I hesitate sometimes to register for these races. They're months in advance. And this one in particular was one I really wasn't sure I wanted to do again. It's the virtual running shorts. You can go look at what I did last year, which was to earn the yellow shoes, the white gloves, and the red pants, and the Mickey Series medal. Looks like they opened this a bit early. It's not even noon Eastern time, and I'm able to get in. In fact, they haven't changed the artwork yet. A couple clicks, and I can already click through to the Active.com site. We get the running series, and I have to just fill out the form so that I can actually get all 4 medals. The other bonus on this one is the charitable organization that they're donating to, which is the Pet Alliance of Greater Orlando. Now, from what I understand, none of the money that is given toward the races goes toward the charitable organization. You actually have to donate a little extra on your own, and I'm doing that. This is a race I can run with my Frenchie, and we can give to pets that are less fortunate. I'm not going to make Spanky run the 5K. Obviously, he's a Frenchie. He's got short legs. He's not going to be able to do that. So I think what I'm going to do is train him to do a 0.5K, about a third of a mile. I think he'll really enjoy it, and that way he can actually wear the medals when we finish these races. Well, as the registration goes, that was kind of easy, probably because it's virtual and there's more than just the 10 or 20,000 spots per race. Now, I have to do another training run. After that, I'm going to talk a little bit more about filling in my race calendar. Good morning. You know, for the first time, I'm out of breath. You know, for the first time in a long time, I feel a little unprepared for a race. Not because of the running, I'm just out of practice using the camera. I've been leaving it home a lot. I brought along the Phaotech G5 and Hero 5 combo. It's a little bit different and harder to use than my other combination with the Hero 4 Silver. 1 mile. With the right search terms on Bing or Google, you can find the latest up-to-date Run Disney calendar. There are 4 races at Disneyland in California, 4 races at Disney World in Florida, 1 race at Disneyland Paris, and those virtual summer runs. Of course, they say you can run those virtual runs in your own backyard and on your own time. Unfortunately, I think my backyard's a little small for a 5K, so I'm going to have to find somewhere special to do the runs with the coach. This is where it gets tough, where you've got to make those lists of pros and cons, yeses and nos. In my yes area, those virtual summer runs, along with the Walt Disney World Marathon weekend, because I've already purchased the Dopey Challenge and I'm getting ready to make a hotel reservation. Now, I'm going to place Disneyland Paris up here, but not until September 2018, because I want to bookend a great year with a great race. For now, that means all of the California races are going to go in the no area. I just don't think I can afford the expense of those with the cost of those. Let's look at the Florida races. Wine and Dine is a maybe. I've already made a hotel reservation. I just don't want to run the 2-course challenge again, and unfortunately, it looks like they've sold out of the individual 10K and half marathon bibs. So I'm going to leave this one up to fate. If I can snag a registration for the Princess Half Marathon, I will move Wine and Dine over to the no area. I really enjoyed this last PHM, and it looks like they're going to rebrand the Glass Slipper Challenge. They're going to call it the Fairy Tale Challenge for the 10th anniversary. Now, the Star Wars Dark Side is going to go in the no area until 2019. I want to pair that with the light side and try to get that Kessel Run coast-to-coast medal. Now, you can see there are a lot of holes in my race calendar, so I've got to look close to home and near friends and family. In the fall, I'm going to look at Rock and Roll Philly, also the OUC Half Marathon in Orlando. And then moving into the winter, the Daytona Beach Half Marathon. That Speedway Challenge was a lot of fun. And there are a lot of half marathons and 10Ks down in South Florida, Fort Lauderdale and Key West, over on the Space Coast. And then moving into the spring, you've got the Best Damn Race in Orlando, plus they like to storm the campus at UCF. And then there's Rock and Roll Raleigh. My friends up there tell me they also like the Flying Pirate. They say that one's a lot of fun on the Outer Banks. You can see this can get really crazy and out of control quickly. It's why I keep training. I've also figured out why I think I'm exhausted. I've been ignoring my main motto, anything in moderation. I've been running to excess, ignoring the rest of my body. I tried to do some yoga yesterday. It was so exhausting and so hard. I'm gonna have to start picking up the weights and doing the upper body again. Let's finish up this run.
4.5 miles. Pace 11:51. Workout complete. Woohoo!
Hi, baby. Spanky's here. You ready to start coaching? All things considered, I think cost is incredibly important. I want to make sure I don't break the bank. Plus, I don't want to put a lot of burden on my friends and family. If I can do for myself, it gives me a sense of independence. Plus, I go back to the first thing I said, fun. If you're not enjoying what you're doing, you've got to do something else. Which reminds me, the next thing on my to-do list, the Star Wars Dark Side weekend, so keep an eye out for those race recaps. Remember, you can keep me motivated by hitting that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up if you've already subscribed, or leave a comment below. I'll see you at the starting line.